Hey y'all, it's your girl Millie Chun.
And it's your girl, the official pastor, Ebony. How are you guys tonight?
Y'all, this is the last Monday in June. I hope that you have enjoyed the official pastor and myself. We were talking about some other things that we would like to do. Just weigh in and let us know what you like, what you didn't like. Um, and we can go from there. But today, we're about to round up Love and Marriage Huntsville, Belle Collective, the interview with Serena. Is that Selena? And my bad. And Love and Marriage Detroit. And we're just gonna see how everybody feel about that.
Yes, 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 yes,
So
yes.
we may have a guest. So we're gonna just start with Belle Collective, just in case we have a guest, okay? So Belle Collective comes up. The glasses have been thrown. Now what?
And the wigs have been
Girl,
shifted.
nobody had a wig. Selena didn't have a wig on. Sanjay didn't have a wig on. Gucci didn't have a wig on. I just finished watching it because in her interview with Carlos, she said, "Go back and roll the tape." I went back and rolled the tape. Gucci did not say I'm going to hit her. She never said that.
Right,
She never
right.
said that. I listened. I rewound that at least 5 times because I was like, she said rewind it, and I'm guessing it's on the TV and not anything extra. No pun intended, but my bad. My bad. But look,
Where are my
okay.
sunglasses?
Y'all, Gucci got a knot on her head. And I did it need to come to that?
I think that did it have to come to that? Absolutely not.
I don't think it needs to
But
come to that.
did someone want it to come to that? Absolutely.
Now,
I feel like based on the episode early on in the episode when Latrice and Selena were shopping for her wig launch
yeah.
and the conversation that they were having, Selena was emotionally riled up and even said to
Oh,
herself that
wait.
she's angry.
Let me pause. We have a guest. Hold on.
Hey,
Hey, y'all.
Hey,
It's so Gucci.
I know that's right.
Hey.
So Gucci, hey girl,
hey, I'm on my way to a step class. Not just
Okay.
come on, personal trainer,
I know
personal
that's
fitness
right.
guru, get
Well,
it in, boo.
let's see if we can get a question in. Ebony, you
okay.
got a question for So Gucci?
All right, so Gucci. So I'm going to talk about a little bit what I saw with
Okay.
Selena and Carlos's interview. Selena mentioned that
Okay.
prior to you being on Bell Collective, that you didn't have a voice to summarize it or you were very quiet. All of this personality that you're displaying comes because now you're on Bell Collective. So, in conjunction with that, Sanjay's confessional in Bell Collective stated that you were bullying Selena and it's just a build up. What is your, because my thoughts are, is how can she not have a voice, but then bully someone at the same time? So give me your take.
Well, I was a very quiet person, but on the flip side, Selena really didn't know. I didn't hang out with her for her to even know my personality. So, for her to say I didn't have a personality, I didn't do that. I mean, Selena, we didn't hang out. We didn't we didn't speak, so she didn't know anything about my personality. Um, and I'm trying to figure out at what point was I bullying her on social media. I mean, if I would post something, if they felt like it was targeted toward them, I'm sorry. I post all the time. I don't see where the bullying came from. I didn't at Selena or anything like that. So I'm confused about the bullying part. I mean, why say something now? If I had been bullying you on social media, you know, let's talk about it. Address me.
Well, let me ask one question. So when she said that it has been determined it's a lie that you all have not spoken before, because it's been said that you all have been in the same circles, you all have been at parties together. Have you had at length conversations with her?
I haven't had any at length conversation with her. The part that she mentioned when we was at the gender reveal, of course, I was mingling, and yeah, she did. We did have a conversation. I was asking her, hey, trying to be sociable. I did have a conversation with her, but it's like, hey, um, she knew I was on Belle Collective. She claimed she was giving me pointers, but it was a short conversation. It wasn't like, hey, I'm finna sit here and talk to you for 30 minutes. So
Right.
I never ever held a really conversation with her, um, and I didn't think it was my place to, I don't have to speak. If she was
Right.
so bothered by, at this point, I've been in a room with her before. So why at this point that, hey, I want to have a conversation with Gucci, or I'm gonna make her speak? I'm thinking, maybe the producer, maybe Latrice say, hey, you need to say something to Gucci. This your time to say something to her. Make her say something to you. Because I was trying to ignore her. Hey, I
Well,
get paid to speak to all the Bells, and that's what I was doing. I was making my way around the room. And I like,
well,
I did see her there. Hell, you can't miss her. But I said, you know what? Just to avoid any kind of situation, I need to, keep going.
okay. Well, there are many scenarios. You could have just kept going. You
Mm-hmm.
could have waited till she and Tamara finished talking. You could have just stayed over there with Akeisha.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, yeah, you don't have to speak, but a lot of people saying that you started it and you did this. I feel like Latrice
Mm-hmm.
should not have invited her. I'm gonna save that for when Ebony and I talk. Let me ask you this. What do you think could have been different? What do you think could have been different?
Okay, let me back up, and we gonna Akeisha and I going live later tonight.
Okay.
Just for people didn't see this part. When I pulled up at that event, I spotted her and Sanjay. I'm like, oh my goodness, they're at Latrice's event, and automatically my guard went up. So that's why I came in the room and gave Latrice the dry hug. I already knew Selena was there. I
Okay.
already knew. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go in. I'm going to speak to all the Bells, ignore Selena because I knew that they was plotting something.
Okay.
And I was like,
Because
Okay.
oh, they trying to plot something. I don't know if production told Selena, hey, make sure you speak to Gucci or get her attention. And I knew the camera was there. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to ignore her, go around the room and try to avoid being confrontational with her. Because I knew
okay.
the minute that I parked right behind her. And I was like, oh, what's this
Mm.
doing here? And when I parked behind her, Sanjay ran to the car. Hey, how you doing? She spoke to me. She spoke to me twice when we was outside and when I came inside.
Okay.
Okay. And then there was the thing where Latrice said that you didn't RSVP. But even if you didn't RSVP and she's saying on the show, I don't know if Gucci's coming, were you just coming anyway
No, I
because
mean, this
this
is
is your job?
this is my job. When they send my schedule out, hey Gucci, you are to be at this event. That was our first all cast event. I guess Marie called in that. I don't know. I was like, okay, my job. I'm going to clock in. So I showed up. I don't have the RSVP because Latrice knew that it was the first all cast event.
Okay. Okay.
I have one question for you, Gucci, and this is just a hypothetical question.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, Selena was on Carlos King's show, his podcast, excuse me. How would you feel if Selena became a full-time cast member on Belle Collective or a friend of the show? How would you feel?
I would feel for my sake, for the health of my family, it wouldn't be right because I want Jay to have a relationship with his girls, and the relationship that he once had, I still want that relationship to exist. I'm not going to be on Belle Collective arguing with her season 5, 6, 7, and 8. I mean, I'm not going to let that be my storyline. That's not what we represent. This show is about 6 successful Black entrepreneurs, women here in Jackson, Mississippi, and that's what we want to showcase. We don't want to showcase this blended family, argue with Selena. No, we're here to set an example. And that's not the example that I want to set. Let's get back to the main point of why Belle Collective exists. It exists so we can show other people, hey, give you the recipe on how to be successful, the different things, that we're doing here in the community to help our community grow. I don't want it to be like, hey, I'm fighting Selena or, in competition with Selena. That's not what I represent, and that's not what we're going to do. Let's get back to the drawing board of what this show represents.
I understand.
Well, I really hate that
I don't know if
happened.
I mean, if it happened, I'll just have to reevaluate. Is this worth, my family, because when the producers film, they're going back home now. And my family's in an uproar, so I got to protect my
Yeah.
I don't know if it's worth it.
Right.
And not saying
Okay.
Selena go create her own show, which would be good. But when you talk about Belle Collective, you're stepping in a different arena. We're talking about making boss moves. We're talking about growing, elevate. It's not about, I used to, the study caused commotion between me and her because, she was Jay ex-wife and the kids get their feelings involved. That's not what that's not what I want to represent. I got on this show to show other people that, hey, a blended family can work, and that we can. I'm sorry, I got on this show to let people know that a blended family can work, and that bosses here in Jackson, Mississippi. So it's not about me versus Selena or a different side, because at the end of the day, we got to try to figure out how to make this thing work.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
Well, somebody said ain't no bucking and 8 counts on Belle Collective.
At the end of the day, so that was a good fit for Selena. That show was a good fit for her.
Right.
But this
pressing her head against the glass and looking inside. Yeah.
This is a different show, and this is not what I'm trying to represent with this show. And I do think that she showed up because I was on this show, and it wasn't about speaking. Let's just. She say good. It's not about speaking, and let's be honest. And I'll say this again on my live tonight when I get with Akeisha. At the end of the day, she can't wrap her head around that the lady that was in the back seat is now in the front seat.
Okay. And with that being said, we know you're off to do something. Your fitness is important also. I just want to thank you for hopping on here. And we just hearing this other side, because there are so many questions and there's so much going on out here in social media. So thank you so much, Sophia, So Gucci, Shantae, for coming on. Can you explain that before you go? What's going on with all the names?
All the names. My legal name is Sophia Shantae Williams.
Okay.
When I met Jay, some people call me Shantae, and some people call me Sophia. But Jay gave me the name So Gucci, so that is the name that I'm wearing now. Shantae is my middle name, is what the girls call me. But I go by So Gucci, but that's my name. Jay gave me that name, wear it proudly, and if they want to call me by my middle name, I answer to that.
That's right. That's right.
You, like I said, thank you so much for being on. We know you were busy, so I really, both Ebony, I really appreciate you coming on and having this moment with us.
All right, thank you, lady.
You're welcome.
Safe travels, love. Have a great evening.
Bye-bye. Well, what did you think about that?
I thought we got some tea there.
You know what? Let me just say this. And I know, I don't know how people feel in the chat or people going to feel about this on this post. And this is our conversation, so I'm going to leave it right there. She mentioned like making boss moves and things like that.
I wanted to ask her so bad. Do she know what Selena do? Because I would like to know.
I would love to know what she does. I saw that she is a Temu advocate. right? What I don't know. I literally and truly, because I know that at one point Selena wasn't well. I know that for a fact.
Right, right,
So
right,
I don't
right, right,
know,
right.
is it disability? And now she just, because I went to her TikTok page and she does a lot of dances. I mean,
Oh, okay. So she's
yeah.
still moving along with the Bring It theme from 10 years past.
I mean, and
Okay,
and I know people gonna be like, "Oh my God, why are you so in people's life?" This is what I do. Okay, so
okay. Right.
like I feel like if you have a platform, because Selena has a platform, she has followers, she has people that really want her to be on this show. She has a following, and I'm not gonna lie, if she got on Bell Collective, the ratings may really go through the roof. Like it could really surpass Love and Marriage Huntsville and be the number one show on. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question.
I'm listening.
Now, this is just my personal thought on, her fans that she has from Bring It translating into Bell Collective. Now we have
Okay.
to also remember that Bring It was like a family based show,
Mm-hmm.
and her advocating for her girls and sometimes commingling with the other parents, right?
Right, right,
That was mostly that platform, competition, dancing, so on and so forth. To
right.
kind of, go in to piggyback off of what So Gucci was saying, this is Bell Collective is a different arena.
Yes.
This is for bosses. This is for Black women entrepreneurs. So having, looked at her social media recently, and all that stuff, do you see, the entrepreneur side of it, the boss side of it, that would help her translate well into Bell Collective? Because, you know, even if she has her fans from Bring It and they
Mm-hmm.
come on over and they watch Bell Collective, the
Mm-hmm.
fan base for Bell Collective is already subscribed and used to seeing these women, they hire and fire, they make decisions. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
I,
So,
let me say this. She has 702,000 followers on Instagram. Like, what
oh,
is she
wow.
doing with that? If her followers are like they are, if it was me, I would have got stale Bell t-shirts and put them out there for people to buy. You got
Well, she better
700
cut the check. She
she
better cut the check when she hear this. She better cut the check for you,
cut the
Millie.
check because you have 702,000 followers. I mean, I feel like on my
Well,
platform,
maybe Gucci need to go ahead and put out the Stale Bell t-shirts.
uh-oh.
The Stale Bell.
Gucci already got some t-shirts out. She already got some. I don't speak to extras. She put them out while I was in Vegas. They already
Ow,
out for sale
ow.
and selling. I'm just saying, if she has 17,000 people on YouTube, 300 and some people on TikTok, I would put Stale Bell out. Should have put Stale Bell out, and that in different colors. You know what I'm saying? Use your platform. You have the people, because the people, regardless of what actually happened, regardless of what Selena says, regardless of what JJ says, regardless of what Soguchi says, people believe Selena. She has people who will support.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I feel, like this is what I do. I talk. People come to here to hear what I have to say about certain stuff. I did the footwork. She has the following. So in my mind, I feel like people want her on Bell Collective. But if you're on Bell Collective, you gotta have some substance. I
You got
don't
to
know,
be able to
Selena.
ring your bell,
You
baby.
gotta be able to
You
do it. And I
and
like
and
Selena.
I and like
I like Selena on Bring It. I think what she's done on Bell Collective, she shook a table. I'm not
she
gonna take that
did.
from her. I'm not gonna take that from her. But at the
But do we
same
think that's
time,
enough?
it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not. It's not enough. Like, she shook the table. She got the people out here riled up. They want her on Bell Collective. I'm not saying she would be bad on Bell Collective. But my whole thing is, what are we gonna see? Like, who's she gonna hang out with? Latrice and Cliff? I simply cannot. I simply cannot.
And the other Bells were not happy with, they surrounded, they came to Gucci defense. They were
Right.
not happy with what happened. So that's another thing. Who is she going to be friends with? If to kind of mosey things on along, can Latrice keep a friend?
I mean, I don't know.
Because there on a clip that I saw, can Latrice keep a friend?
And it's probably if Cliff allows her to. I'm just
Well,
saying.
there you have it. Well,
I'm just
well,
saying.
well, there we. Daddy has to give his approval.
Yes. And then let's just go back to Belle Collective. So the situation was over. She goes and she talks to JJ. He's not happy. And a lot of people feel like JJ was really talking bad about Selena, and they've said that he's never said things about Selena before this.
But has he ever had another platform to say anything about Selena before this?
I mean, other than Bring It. And then
Yeah.
JJ and the girls have a YouTube channel. Like they did YouTube skits all the time. So
Right.
I don't think he's ever said anything, but Sophia is his wife. You know what I'm saying? And even the interview I had with him, he said that they had, he said they had hung out. She said, they have been places together, but it's not at length. You know what I'm saying? So that's her word against her word. I'm going to leave that right there.
Right.
But I feel like, I don't know. I guess it does look like he's never spoken about Selena, and now he's speaking about Selena, and everybody is like, what's going on? Like, you've never done this before. But Bring It was a different show. It was just a different show.
Yeah, it was. And I think as well, these issues were not, publicly happening either. He could very well have, had these kind of conversations with his mom, his wife, and everybody else that's in their circle. But this has become a very public thing. So, and there's cameras and this is their reality. So he's voicing his opinions. And I thought, a lot of people felt as though, oh, why would you bash her and so on and so forth. And I didn't really, when I was listening to it, I didn't take it as him bashing her. I just felt as though he was venting his truth.
Right.
Because two things can be true at the same time. You know what I mean?
And he was upset. Like I said, he's a man in the middle, like his kids and his wife. Like that's hard. That's a hard place for him to be. That's tough. But let me ask you this before we get back to that. How do you think, I would love to know how Letitia is thinking about this. Letitia is the moving spirit for this show. She's the reason that the show is happening. This could be taking a little of her life.
Now I saw in a preview, she's calling a peace treaty.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
She's calling a peace treaty.
This is just Selena's not in this peace treaty. It's just it's
just the Bells. She's calling a peace treaty, and Gucci is feeling a type of way with Latrice, and they're gonna have it out. Now, are they gonna move past it? I don't know, but that peace treaty ain't look like too much peace was happening because it was some hand clapping going on. Some wigs the wigs was stiff. It's a lot. So I am looking forward to seeing that. So Letitia does do her job as the new, I'm gonna go as far as say Letitia is the nucleus of the collective, and trying to bring peace. And I do like that about this show is that they don't let things carry so far before they try to rein the girls, back in.
Right. The last thing I'm gonna say about the interview with Carlos, when he asked her what is the real beef with her and So Gucci. I don't know if y'all in the chat heard this or you all in the comments, but her response was the fact that she was raised by her grandmother and she was taught to speak to people when you come in the room. We've all been taught that. But
Right.
sometimes we just don't do that. And sometimes we feel like we don't have to. But that cannot be the beef. Because I didn't speak to you, that I get a glass in my
Well,
head.
she's the Beyonce of Jackson, Mississippi now.
Okay, with that, let's move on to the next thing. Uh, okay. Next thing on the show. Uh,
Next on the docket.
next on the docket. What's next? Oh Lord, have mercy.
Do you want to just dig into Love and Marriage Detroit first, or you want to save them for the end? Because it probably won't be.
Oh, yeah, we can do Detroit real quick.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Is there anything else for Belle Collective? There's anything anybody in the chat wants to talk about for Belle Collective? Because, like she said, next week they're going to have a Ponderosa. Our blessings and all of our prayers go out to Glenn and his family because he actually lost his grandmother. So rest in peace, grandmother. I hated that happened. What else happened? Let me say this. I feel like Latrice, I feel like after, let me say that this is going to be it. You know the conversation that Latrice and she had in the shop when they were getting clothes?
Yes.
If hindsight is 2020 and you really wanted your event to be great, and I feel like she had a lot to say, I think I would have just told her, like, Selena, you've been coming to other events. I need you to sit this one out. You know what I'm saying? I feel like she should have been able to read that because Selena had a lot to say in that moment.
A lot. And I felt like it was too much to the point that she was angry. Yeah. And Latrice, it was so many red flags in that conversation. Why wouldn't you say, hey, if you come to my event, are you going to be okay? Are you going to keep it cute? Right. Are you going to be cordial? There were so many red flags that just spoke that something is going to happen. It was so many red flags. And I don't know if that's, I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was, but it was so many red flags that she could have just, kind of checked that at the door. And that's why I'm leaning towards, she knew that it was going to be something.
Right.
Something, very much something.
Before we move on, Victoria said poor excuse in her opinion. So I would just like for her to kind of elaborate. Before we go any further. What was a poor excuse? What did we say that would have been a poor excuse? Like Latrice or Gucci or Selena? If you can say that. Because we are going to go on. Let me see. Yeah, she definitely had an attitude. And I feel like when Gucci walked in, because people, and I have read everything. Like, I have gone perused everything. And people's like, well, Gucci had an attitude, she did that. And then some people said Selena is not innocent, she did this. I just feel like if Selena hadn't said, Shantae, so Gucci, what do y'all call her? See, that was a lot too. Because Gucci had literally walked in and kept going.
She already said she felt something. Women's intuition. When she came, she jumped and she spoke with us. She said she already felt something. She said she felt it in her spirit already. When Selena was over there, kikiing, I agree with you, Cindy Lou. When Selena was kikiing with Tambra, and Tambra called Gucci over. You wanted me to hear you shading me. What y'all call her?
Ooh,
so Gucci.
But look, did you notice the conversation that Latrice and Tambra was having? Did you feel like Tambra was on Selena's side at that moment? Because it seemed like it shifted a little bit.
I definitely do, but guess what? Tambra really ain't got no friends on the show either. So who else is she going to align with right now? I told you I wasn't holding back, Fred. Tambra, who Tambra gonna film with? if not Treese. And then Selena's fiance and Damon are friends.
That is crazy. But we got to get to this part in the interview. I know I said it, but I got to say this part right here. So when Carlos, because in my mind, I feel like the questions he was asking Selena were just little drops that he was trying to get to see if he could, because people have been talking about, people really want Selena on the show. Like that's all over the place. So
Right.
I felt like his questions were like, okay, if we do this, can you do this? Who do you, okay, you know all the girls right here. You go to all their things. You've been knowing Akeisha since high school. You did this, you did that. So when he asked about the fiance,
Mm-hmm.
and because she said, oh, I'm married, blah, blah, blah. He's chocolate, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, are you getting married this year or next year?
Right.
Her answers was like, I don't know. I need the right dress. Selena has been engaged since last year. At this point, I would have had the right dress, the right venue, or the right appointment at the Justice of the Peace. They can go to Vegas, honey. They can drive through a window and get married.
Do we think, I don't know anything, but, you know, a lot of times, you know, when you're coming on reality TV, will your significant other want to participate? Is he somebody that's on her social media a lot? Like, do they, you know, do things together? So is he going to show up for her in that way? Is he going to participate? Because you're not, it's, you know, Carlos has said, you're not as successful if we don't get to see your whole life.
Right.
So is he going to show up for her? You know, if she does get offered to be a part of the cast, is he going to be highlighted? I mean, and these girls are old, you know, her daughters are older.
Right. And
how interested are we going to be in watching her kids as well? I mean, Sanjay pulls a lot of star power, Star and Sky as well, but Sanjay, you know, we spent a lot more time with Sanjay on Bring It versus Sky and Star. We saw Sanjay's whole, you know, full on journey as well. Like, how interested are the fans going to be watching Sanjay? How interested are they going to be in watching Star and Sky? You know, how does that dynamic work as well? You know, people, this is a whole new arena than you just standing in front of the glass waiting for your baby to see if she gonna get chose.
Right. And Miss Terry says Selena set it up for a TV wedding. She about to make Carlos pay. Now I'm gonna tell you something. Carlos had paid but for one trip out of his whole Kingdom Reign situation. The Love and Marriage Huntsville only went to Vegas. That's
baby.
Let me tell you something. Selena gonna really, Miss Terry, and I mean for real, you may agree or not. Selena gonna really have to bring something if she is offered to be on this show. This is not Bravo. They will marry you quick on Bravo. This is on, and the money is not flowing like that because I'm ready for the Bells to go on a trip, and it's time for them to go on a trip.
Let me tell you something. My personal opinion, the only wedding that's coming out of Kingdom Reign budget is to Carlos African. Okay.
Okay. But you know what? That would be, I mean, I think Tamara should get a wedding before Selena get a wedding.
Let me tell you something. And the only caveat to what I just said, the only other person that has that kind of pull will be Melody Shari.
Yeah. Mel could get a wedding on TV. Miss Terry, I don't think so. I just, Selena might be setting herself up to be on another television show. She hasn't been on TV in a decade. This is a different show. So after She Throwing a Glass, we all know how Carlos feels about that. He may, because she brings a lot of people, because the ratings, I don't know if the ratings were really that high. She could bring a lot of people, but a wedding, I don't even know if she wants to get married. If I was engaged last year, I would definitely be married this year. Definitely, one way or the other. But let's move on. Let's talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville,
Okay.
because that is driving me nuts, right? And I'm not gonna go in order. I'm gonna say this: Mel was not on the show this week.
She was
People
missed.
people feel like she's leaving the show. People feel like, that she's been done wrong. I mean, sometimes they don't get on the show. If she don't have Carlos has said, if they don't have anything to film, they're not gonna push anything. They're not gonna force anything. So maybe she just didn't have anything going on. Okay. Love and Marriage Jackson, sir, we'll talk about that later, Mr. J. But
I
I
kind of
feel
like it. Jackson is giving good TV. I kind of like it, but go ahead.
But I feel like it's okay. Mel went on there. I don't know. I do feel like at some point, this is just me. I do feel like at some point Mel is going to leave. I
Yes.
feel like sometimes there's a lot of disrespect thrown towards her. I know people feel how they feel about her, but I'm always going to stand on this. Melody Cherie Rogers has been through more on reality TV than any other wife getting divorced ever. She's the only woman who's had to be on television with her husband, her ex-husband, and endure everything, try to work out custody, try to work out court visits, try to work with him, and the only way they can do it is not even film together. So I can see her leaving at some point. She's getting bigger and bigger every day, but I did miss her. But the show was interesting to me
Oh,
because
yes.
Maurice, as Cindy Lou has said, I'm just gonna put this up here because I think she said it better than I could actually say it. 100%. Maurice showed his tail.
I'm
And
glad we got to see this.
this core six, the three men that make up part of the core six, are the most horrible three men that are a representation of men in Huntsville, Alabama, that you could ever put on television. These are
Allegedly.
no, this is not allegedly. Because let me tell you something. If these people are not being themselves, I'm going to need them to be themselves. Because the way Marceau has downplayed Tisha, the disrespect he's thrown her way, the way he's belittled her, is too much. Maurice wants something that he's not willing to give. He wants servitude, and he's not willing to give anything. Kimmy told him in the beginning, a couple of seasons ago, I do not want to be a single mother anymore. And here she is being a single mother to a child that's not hers. She's already raised her son. And we're not even gonna get
Yes.
on Martell. I don't even think YouTube has the bandwidth for me to get on Martell. So y'all know I don't. Oh, Miss Terry, we get into it. Just hold on. Just hold on, baby. We get into it. Let me just go and put it up here so I won't forget. It is horrible. It is horrible. Maurice, I'm okay. Go ahead and talk. Let me gather myself.
Okay.
I
So,
ain't even using them.
I think we needed this episode to give other people a break and really hone in to Maurice and Kimmy. I think the past, few seasons, to a certain degree, Maurice has been sliding and coasting by. Melody went in so far to refer to him as the most irrelevant person on the cast. So I think this light needed to be shined upon them. I'm going to say that I feel as though Kiowa and Kimmy's relationship has come a long way as far as energy exchange is concerned. Just their energy. They understand that they're on the same page, that, Monster is the priority in this situation, and they have found a common ground within that. I think, again, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to drive this home, Kimmy is dealing with a cancer diagnosis and all of this stuff. And because she has gone through this cancer battle with so much poise, grace, and class, I think Maurice takes this for granted.
Yeah,
I'm not
it's not
saying
over.
Kimmy,
It's
I'm
not
not
over.
saying, right. I'm not saying Kimmy should be, babied or anything, but I don't see him like, for me, if I see someone that's dealing with cancer, I, I'm rolling out the red carpet. I don't want them to have to do anything.
Anything that they
And
don't
I
want to
feel,
do.
right. And I feel like he's constantly pushing the emotional heavy lifting of rearing a child and stress on her with this situation. And stress is not good for anybody, let alone a person that is fighting for their life when it comes to cancer.
I knew when Kyle was sitting there on that couch. I knew Kiowa did everything for Monster. And I hate calling him Monster, but we gotta call him
Me
that. So
too.
I hate
Right,
saying
right,
it.
right,
But I knew Kiowa did everything. So I understood what Maurice said in that moment. Like, I want him here so I can raise him. But like Kimmy said, a boot camp, you go from him just getting up, putting his clothes on to I need you to put your clothes in the wash machine. And he's never done that because he did not know. Like Kimmy said, he had to be taught because he did not know. And
right,
Kyle solidified what I said. She around there doing everything for him,
right.
right? So, but Maurice saying that he spends time picking up, dropping off, and in traffic. That's like Marceau not knowing that his baby is allergic to peanut butter. When the peanut butter, that's the
Yes.
same thing. How do you feel like having a conversation in traffic or dropping off at school and then having to come and then like she said, he probably would do better in school if you sat down and worked with him.
Yep. It's
Like he
true.
cannot hear that. Like the same thing when she told him about being with him, how she does it for him. In his mind, he goes straight to you faking. Dude, can you listen to the whole thing and take yourself out of it? Maurice is worse than Marceau. I'm just gonna go and say it.
Well, he's the older brother, so
I know. So he's worse.
I feel like
Exactly.
if I feel as though if when Kiowa came to the door and how Monster hugged her and gave her that smile, his eyes just lit up around his mom.
Mm-hmm.
And in that moment, I so felt for him because, I recall he didn't even want to move to
He
Huntsville.
didn't
That's
want
not
to
even where he didn't even want to move to Huntsville. So he's in this place where there's tension, maybe between his mom, his
mm-hmm.
stepmom, then his dad that's long-winded and likes to give MLK speeches and mentorship, talking to his son like he's a mentee instead of his son.
Right.
And cameras in his face and he's
Right.
being called out. That's a lot for a young, and then, that 15, 16 going through puberty. That
It's a
is
lot.
so much. And then your friends watch the show. Your friends know what you're going through at home.
Right.
And
Right.
it's
But you
so
know what?
much for him.
I feel like Kiowa was justified because when they sent him out to do his homework, she had this smirk on her face like, I told you so. Because I feel like they need to send that baby back to his mama.
I
That's what I
agree.
feel he
I
needs to go.
agree.
Because at least
I
he's going to
agree.
be raised and at least he'll be happy.
See, that's the part. See, that's the part that's important. You gotta be actively participating in the parenting. And in
Yes.
the gaslighting Maurice was doing to Kimmy, I was not happy about that. Oh, you're not a parent. Oh, you want us to go to therapy. You're not coming. Like, why are you doing that? Y'all two need to work y'all stuff out and get y'all parenting plan together.
Yes.
And then I'll come in and I can back you up on it. But him and Kyle are not on the same page. Kimmy and
No.
Kyle are on the same page, but
Yeah.
Maurice and Kyle are not on the same page based on
And
what I saw.
that's so crazy. Let me go back to the beginning. Let's get this out of the way. Stormy, I feel like Stormy needs to let go of this mom thing. Sis Aunt Lisa, Mama Betty. I think she needs to let these sisters work this out. And I think her and Courtney are right. just clean house, get a whole new team, because clearly working with family for her is not going to work. She's too sensitive. When it comes to the fact putting her foot down, Junior needed to go probably years ago, and I think she just needs to leave the sisters alone, let that work itself out, work on a new staff, and let's go. I think that's what needs to happen.
I'm gonna be honest, Millie. If it wasn't for this recap, I would have fast forward through Stormy's part.
Oh God.
Stormy needs to. They have some stuff to figure out, and she doesn't have that. She has it in a group setting. She can banter off of a group setting, but her alone is not enough to keep me engaged.
Okay, that's fair.
Her alone is not enough to keep me engaged.
How do y'all feel in the chat for me?
I would recommend. I'm all for family working it out. I would have liked to see Stormy set up a therapy session with Dr. Francis for her sisters, and they try to work on some resolve that way. Stormy being a mediator between her mom that doesn't seem to really respect her does not work. Betty seems to come across as jealous of the relationship that she has with Lisa. So they need to go ahead and book an appointment with Dr. Francis and go ahead and hire some experienced warehouse workers, and we can move along.
Yes, experienced warehouse workers. Let's talk about Martell life being real. First of all, even though Mel wasn't on the show, she was definitely present,
very much there
and on people's minds. That was the first thing out of his mouth, right? But he realizes that it's not so easy. The babysitter quit on him, then his mama acting up with him. I'm gonna tell you why Marlene acting up. Right, Marlene has said it. She said it when they was thinking about getting a divorce, when they was talking about it and it not actually happening. She said,
"Them your children.
Y'all got to raise them." See, now Marlene got to be a full-time grandmama, and she got a problem with that. Martell is infringing upon her elderly
her free
life.
time.
Yeah,
her free time.
Yeah. Next time I'm mad at my mom, he gonna be mad at her next week.
He gonna be upset.
But I really and truly don't feel like he's going to counseling outside of this show. I mean, I don't know. He could be going weekly. I'm going to say alleged, but I do not believe that he is doing that at all.
Listen, when Martell, remember now, you guys that are fans of the show, remember how Martell in previous seasons has gone on and on how he was the primary parent, right? He used to get the kids up. He used to do this. He used to do that. He was the primary parent for the kids. Now, he's stressed out and unbalanced, his word, because the babysitter done canceled on him. He can't run his errands and he can't do that. You was the primary parent.
You the primary. You wanted the kids.
Right. You was taking her to court.
You were taking her to court. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the difference?
Because the child support didn't come with it. Because that $28,000 wasn't paid. That's the difference. So now he got a problem with it. Like, it just makes no sense, because he's telling Big Lou, we got 4 kids, and this was another season, and Mel has so much she's doing, and she can't be there all the time. Well, on your 7 days, sir, like, where are you? Because everybody feel like he live with Marlene. Because that house they showed, that's Marlene's house, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Marlene's house.
Okay, that's okay.
That's Marlene's house. So that's it. So I don't understand. He's been the primary parent. I don't understand why things are so difficult. Did he give Mel first right of refusal?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because he big on that right of refusal.
Right of refusal. He loves
it. Because things of that nature.
Things of that nature. Shout out to T here for you, baby, Mr. Things of that nature, honey. I love it. I hope I said her name right, but Stormy and Courtney, um, they're talking about, the new people. That was at the end of the show, so I hope they get a new crew. Um, I'm kind of
What
worried
about
about.
next?
I'm kind of worried
Oh, go
about
ahead.
Monster. I really hope that he gets what he needs. I really, really,
Yes.
really hope he gets
Yes.
what he
I
needs.
hope he gets
And
I hope he gets therapy because it hurt my heart when he said he doesn't really have any friends. He doesn't really have anyone to talk to. And he just basically kind of talks to himself to run through whatever it is, and it is what it is. And it
right,
shouldn't be like that. You brought him, you gave Kyle with his speech that you want to raise your son. You want to raise your son. Where's the bond where your son feels comfortable enough to come to you and talk to you and express his feelings?
right. And then if you're not here to do it, like Victoria is saying, he is definitely depressed. Like if you just stay in your room, like Kimmy said, he's in his room all the time. Clearly, Maurice is not engaging with this baby.
Yes, yes. I agree
And
with you, Victoria, as well. You're absolutely
and,
correct.
and then like his mother said, would it be better if I was here a lot? He was like, whatever you can be, because that
And he
means he
was so
needs
sweet
his
and humble when he said that, whatever your schedule
yes,
could allow. Oh my God, my
yes.
heart broke for him in that scene. Oh,
My heart broke for him, period. My heart broke for him being on television, having this conversation. Like you said earlier, you got friends who probably watching you on TV. So now they see you in a situation. This is something that could go to school. People could bother him because of this.
right,
You don't know
right.
what kids are mean.
Oh,
They
yes, honey.
they're the top
Yes,
2 meanest people on the planet. Right?
yes,
So
yes,
you got your
yes.
baby sitting here on TV and you thinking, I mean, he may be getting a check. That's great too. But at the same
Yeah.
time, you're not
Is
even
it
thinking
worth it?
about, yeah, you're not even thinking about how mentally this is for your child. What is he gonna
Right,
deal with after once this show is on?
right.
And when his mother came,
Absolutely.
he lit up like I cannot with Maurice. I cannot. Okay. Does anybody have anything else in the chat to say about Love and Marriage Huntsville before we get to Detroit, honey? Capricorn says, if I was Kyle, I'd take my son back. Maurice would have to fight me. She has video proof to back up what she. I'm with you, Capricorn, 100%. Just pack this baby up because we all saw it 2 seasons ago. He at the jump house in the phone things. He was like, I don't want to be here. And then he said, you're going to be here. Okay, well, if I'm going to be here, you need to make it worth my while to be here. And he has
I
not done.
agree.
And he can't handle it because people calling him out and he feeling a certain way. Maurice is probably, I'm just going to say this. Those 3 men on that show, this is not who you would want to be with. I'm sorry. Time to let go. Tony said it's time to let go. I'm with you, Tony. I'm with you.
Before
Let's
I let go.
let's move on to Detroit.
Ooh,
Okay.
child.
Jesus. Go ahead, get started.
Okay. The question for Love and Marriage Detroit. Do you like your wife? Do you like your wife? Do you
Do
like your
you
wife?
like being married?
Do you like your wife? Do you like being married?
Do you want
That
to be
is the
single?
question. Come on, people in the chat. Do
Do you
they
want
like their wives?
you want a polyamorous relationship? Like,
Let
what
me
do you
tell
want?
you.
His name Anthony, right? No, Brandon.
Which
Brandon.
Brandon, man bun Brandon.
Man bun Brandon.
He helps up and coming artists. When his wife was just calling to see, now this is what I picked up on. She said, I didn't know if you were coming home.
Why
So
would she
I'm
not know
calling,
that?
right, right. So she's calling to say, what time are you coming home? Because I didn't know if you were coming home. He immediately, and I mean, she didn't have no attitude, you know, no stank on it.
Yeah, she
It
was
was
just
a,
calling him, when are you coming home?
yeah, just a nice little, she was in her feminine energy, you
And baby,
know?
that guilt, what I was about to do, that just showed up. Like he got angry. Like
Yes,
angry.
yes,
And people were like, Okay. People that were watching this show were like, oh my God, they came out swinging, this, and the third. Me personally, I was fresh off my Reese from Love and Marriage Huntsville, so my attitude was real bad. So I was like, this is what we doing. This we gonna leave this one and then we gonna go here. Like, I would just really like to see a television show where married couples, if anybody's in here that's married and you all have like a little struggle, put your struggle in here. Like one little thing, like keep the toilet seat down, close the cabinet door. I don't want to go here. I don't want to go to your mother's for vacation. I don't want to go to your mother's for vacation. These are things that it's still a healthy relationship. I don't want to see somebody just upset because their wife is asking, baby, when you coming home?
And they got young kids.
Little bitty girls. Beautiful.
She's so stressed out. She was crying just talking about it at the play date. Like, she can't get out of mommy mode. She can't. He won't even help. I mean, then for him to tell her, well, maybe if you showed me some appreciation and cater to me more, I would come home.
Hold on one second. Victoria, we're going to come back to this question at the end. I'm going to put it down. Well, no, I don't want to put it down here, but we're going to come back to your question. But look, Cindy Lou, this is what I said in my review. This is exactly what I said. She needs to take something from Mel. Get you a babysitter and roll up to the studio and see what's really going on. That's what you need to do. Because I would have hung that phone up. I'm like, baby, don't worry about it. I'm about to go put something in the oven. Don't worry about it. I'd have got them kids. I'd have called Kobe. Girl, I need to drop these babies off. And I'd have walked in there. Like, what is really going on? Because why can't you tell your wife you have a new client? Why does that need a perfect time?
And their production was so messy. When they were showing the artist, she was checking herself out in the mirror. You know what, Kingdom, right?
So we just start off the show. I mean, I understand what people are saying. It's a good show. It was moving, had a lot of moving parts. But we're gonna start off cheating.
Look, I think one of the reasons why it's coming in heavy-handed, right, is because Carlos has made it clear what he feels as though a season opening episode should be and what it needs to be based on his reviews from, Real Housewives of Atlanta and so on and so forth. So I think he's trying to make sure that he lives up to the expectation that he set for other shows for his own show. And I think that's why it comes in so heavy-handed. But it could also be building up, just to play devil's advocate, it could also be building up to them working through all of that and him, seeing the error of his way as well and talking to his wife differently. But
that's true.
It was a lot.
And then you got, what's his name? Colby and Russell. I'm just moving around right quick. So how is Russell not going to discuss becoming a minister with his wife? Let me tell y'all something right now. My walk is not as straight as most, right? It's not straight, but I try my best. Like Patti LaBelle, I do my best. But my thing is, if my husband says, I think I'm gonna be a minister, this is a conversation we're gonna have because girl, my mouth is too sailorific for me to be a first lady.
Sailorific.
It is too much. A first lady, that's a lot. Like, you gotta go to, I'm not saying I don't want to go to church. I go to church. I was raised in it. But that's every day for real. Like, that's your job. That's mandatory.
You have to show up differently, and you can't just show up for churches, be sanctified. That's something you have to do. That's an everyday, every step of the way walk.
Yeah.
I think it's indicative. It's indicative of their relationship. He does whatever he wants, and then he lets her know what it is later on.
Right. And then you got LaToya and Anthony. Okay. I'm going to reference Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I don't know if y'all watched that in the chat, but there's a lady on there named Crystal. And Crystal is married to the man who developed Lion King. Crystal
Yes.
don't do nothing but shop and dress and put her children up to the table to eat the
And make
food
dumplings.
and make dumplings and put her children up to the table to eat the food that the cook has made. So you try to tell me that my husband comes home and says that he has applied for a job with Disney and Marvel? Marvel? Don't even put Disney on it. Just Marvel alone. Now, unless he is an assistant, but if he really got a moving and shaking position, we packing up and moving. So I ain't gonna be able to be on Love and Marriage Detroit unless y'all just want to shoot me down.
Right. Right. Right.
Unless y'all want to shoot me on a visit, I'm moving to Atlanta with my husband. Because whatever I got, I can do it down there. And whatever I don't want to do, I can do whatever I want to do.
Right. And her being a doctor, a physical therapist, she can definitely go somewhere and relocate
Yeah.
and be supportive. My thing is, I just feel like Latoya has totally emasculated that man, and she carries his masculinity in her purse with her. She
Yes.
does not show him. It doesn't come across that she's very respectful to his dreams and to his goals. It seems it's very one-sided. His position in the marriage is to support her.
Right. Because he was like, at the end of the show, he said, I came home because I was going to get a divorce. And speaking of the end of the show, he had so much at the side of his neck talking to Brandon's wife. Why didn't Brandon check him?
And that's why I asked, does Brandon like his wife? Because how would you let another man sit there and talk to your wife, go back and forth with your wife like that?
That was crazy. I mean, Brandon didn't say anything. He didn't say, hold up, dude. Like, I understand what you're saying, but you ain't got to talk to my woman like this. And she was in there, like, just fighting for her poor little life, just trying to get her point across. And then clearly, Russell and Colby do a lot of pillow talk. Because when she
baby.
Honey, when
ain't nothing. Oh my God. His face when she started talking.
Oh my God. He was like, get over here in your lane. She was like, but I'm like her. I didn't think that she would know that he had a new person. And now everybody's sitting up to myself, what's the problem?
Now I get it. I get what she's saying, that his wife should know. But your loyalty is to your husband and what your husband is discussing with you. That's not fodder for the anniversary dinner of all dinners.
Why was everybody at the dinner on the first episode? This should have been
because do he like his wife? Does he want to be alone with his wife? Because why am I coming to surprise you? I'm blindfolding you, bringing you to the anniversary dinner. And Kristen's thought is he finna push me off a cliff?
Yeah.
Why would you think that? Does he like his wife?
And then she was like, her surprise to see everybody there. She was like, because like, this is our anniversary. Like, why do you have the whole cast here? You know, this is the first cast show. This is the first show with our anniversary. I don't know. And then like, we got another wine situation, even though it seems like this is movie.
I like the name. But again, Latoya doesn't want to. Yes, Brandon was saying, preach, brother, in his head. I agree. He enjoyed his wife fighting for her life. Yeah, I agree.
Because at that moment, he was upset. He was upset because now she's sitting here like, Brian had an emotional relationship. Girl, we know what that is. So we start out cheating. This is what we're going to start out with. Y'all, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to check back in about episode 5. And if I can check in at episode 5 and I don't miss a beat, I'm checking out until the reunion. Period. So I'm telling you, go to TikTok and listen to the official Pot Stirrer, because she is going to watch it and review it, because that's where I'm going to be. I may post her reviews, but I'm telling you, if I can check in at episode 5 and not miss a beat, it's not going to be worth it for me. I'm sorry.
Let's circle back to opulence wine and who provided the funds for opulence wine, but it's
It's
her wine.
it's giving me Latrice and Cliff.
Yes.
It's giving
And
me
Latoya is Cliff.
and I feel
We
like
not equal.
I feel like the
You,
money he got for the wine came from the Disney and Marvel money. That's
but
wow, that
he's
is
not her
excellent.
equal. He is not her. I feel Latoya is telling him, "You not my equal."
Yeah.
That's true.
Now he back
That is true.
doctor. I really hope that man didn't quit his job. I
I
mean,
just feel
now
like
this they are going to build something throughout the season. They are going to build something, and it's the first episode, so I may give episode 2 a chance. But if episode 2 is still disrespectful, disregarding women, I'm out. I'm out. And I already know that Brandon gonna ask this girl does she want to be married. I already know that because that's on the docket.
listen, when you leave your wife home with those two small children and you turn around and look at her and tell her if you cater to me more, if you appreciated me more, where's the appreciation for her for having your kids? Where's her help to raising these children that y'all made together? Like,
Okay, that gave me Tisha and Marcel vibes, right? So she's
yep,
talking about I'm at home every day and I'm raising these kids. But you said if I was well, he said appreciation, if I felt
cater to.
appreciated and catered to.
And I think it was one more thing. I just can't
One
remember
more
right
thing, I
now.
can't remember what it was. It was 3 things. He said if
Yeah.
I felt love, appreciated, and catered to. Now, are they the ones that got married within 6 months?
Yes, but they've
Yeah,
been married 11
11
years.
years. Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it reeks of Martell and yeah, it reeks. I even question whether Martell helped cast these couples.
And I know it's some people in Detroit that got some good relationships. I know it is. I know it's some people that's got some situations where it's like, babe, like I need a break, I'm working or whatever. Can we just talk about how we going to make it if I quit my job for my mental?
Carlos, can we get two more couples? We just need two more couples that are seemingly healthy. Two
And
more
happy.
couples.
And happy.
Yeah, we just need two more couples. You can keep we'll deal with these people since you done introduced them to us. But can we get two more couples? We need two more couples to kind of
We do.
to balance this out. To
Yeah.
balance this out. I think this, core 6 thing that only works for Love and Marriage Huntsville. Same thing if you segue with DC. You need two more. You need two more healthy, happy couples. We'll keep these 3 for Detroit, but we need 2 more.
I know.
We need 2 more.
I don't know. She said, where do they find these couples? I don't know.
That's a great question. That's a great question.
I don't know. I don't know where
That's a great question. How do they get cast for the show? I'm assuming probably their social media. So the wives probably were great fits for the show.
Now, they said that they were content creators. I have not gone to check, but I don't know about you as a content creator, but I know about me as a content creator. And I see you like I see me. We work really hard at our content.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've had moments where I'm like, oh my God, like it's 9:00. I got to get this story out, or it's a story popping and it's like stuff that a review I need to do. Do I do this or do I do, like I'm over here just stressed out trying to get everybody's information out to them. You sitting over here talking about you took a break. I took a break yesterday because I had to go to sleep. And even in taking a break, I made a post to say I will be back today. I still made a post because I feel like I'm obligated. I've gotten to this point. I love the people that follow me. The people love me, and I feel like I owe them that.
Right.
I can't take a break.
Right.
And she told me, oh, he took a break. How do you take a break? I got a 16-year-old. She want a car, work. I want to take a break.
That's why my tail was up in the therapist's office. But anyway.
Girl, I just don't know. I just don't even know. Like, I will say this, y'all. Okay, we get into a real conversation now. Like, I'm just gonna like reference the BET Awards. The reason people thought it was so bad is because there are no writers. So there was no. That's why Taraji didn't host it. There was nobody to write it. So all we have.
Oh, right, that makes a lot of sense. Because I didn't even hear. Okay.
We don't have any writers. So that's why. What's his name? The DJ. Kid Capri. He was hosting along with MC Light. She was letting know what's coming up, and he was letting you know who's coming out, right?
Okay.
So all we have now is reality TV. We don't have any scripted. We don't have Abbott Elementary. We don't have any of this. So the TV that, and we got game shows. So the TV that we got to watch, like, y'all got to come with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't. If I'm letting my baby watch Love and Marriage Huntsville and Love and Marriage Detroit, I feel like what she's watching is to learn how to get along with the way people treat you. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how I feel about it.
Right.
That's how I feel about it. So I'm going to watch next week. And I will discuss it, and I will let you know.
I'm looking forward to it.
Because I cannot take it. Look at Sonya. She said she don't like none of them. Period, point blank. She don't like none of them. You know, because people can go through things. Like, don't get me wrong. I think when you show things like this, and I'm not saying all women are going through this and all men are like this. But if it happens to be someone watching this and this is their situation, I would think that they would want to watch something that would be positive and show them what love looks like. Okay, you can have an argument, but you can have a healthy argument. You can have an argument in love. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not, do you still want to be married? What is that?
Like, I mean, that went 0 to 100. Again, do you like your wife? Do you want to be married? Is the question. Are you projecting onto her?
I just feel like this. Like, where do we go after this episode? Because this episode was up here. Like, I was like, this is a lot going on.
Well, hopefully it will balance out and it'll in a good way. So we shall see. All we can do is tune in and see.
Because I'm with Colby. I don't know about being a first lady, honey. I don't know about that.
Well, you know, there's going to be some beef in between Colby and Christina over the influencing stuff. So
yeah,
we're going to have to see how it all plays out. Calling each other fake, and girl, it's a lot gonna be going on. We gonna see if Latoya give Anthony back his masculinity, if she take it back out her purse and put it back in his pants. It's a lot going on.
Oh God. Oh Lord, have mercy.
What?
That is a lot going on. Like what? Like, I just feel like it was a lot. So I think that is all I had for that. I'm gonna go back to this question Victoria had. She said, do you think Howard really wants her son back? Or is she enjoying seeing him squirm since she thought Kimmy broke up their marriage? I would have immediately packed up my son and left. Definitely the latter part. Definitely would have got my baby and got out of there. But I feel like her face has some satisfaction when they sent that baby out because she realizes it's not working like Maurice thought it was going to work.
Right.
Now, she and Kimmy going to talk next week, right? They're going to have a
Yes.
So we'll see next week how that works.
Also, I think as well, I don't think I don't think Kaya would at Monster's expense to prove a point
Yeah.
would keep him in that situation. Um, but I do think Kaiwa is trying to be cooperative and be
Mhm.
collaborative with Maurice and give him the opportunity that he is asking for to raise his son.
Yeah.
And I feel like she's going to do everything that she says she's going to do. She's going to actively try to come down there and see
Mhm.
him and be more vocal and a part of it. And if things still don't improve, I don't
Come.
doubt she won't come get her son. I don't doubt it. She will come and get her son if things don't improve for his mental health. I don't doubt it.
Because I feel like Lil Maurice, like y'all said, Lil Maurice, I feel like when he's down there with his dad in the summer, that's just enough. Like he can't take all of that, you know,
Full time.
full
Yeah.
time because Maurice is not even involved then. Like Kimmy, I want you to get into football camp. Kimmy, I want you to do this. He's not even involved then. That's why the baby said he didn't want to be there. You know,
Right.
and just like Howard said, do you think that he misses his mom? Absolutely.
Yep.
And the way my baby looks in me, the way if my baby looked like that, I'll never forget. I was working 2 jobs. I was working at night, and my daughter was little. And I had come home after I got off work, and she said, "Oh, mommy, I'm so glad you're home. I missed you so much." That was the last night I worked. I kept the other one in the daytime, but I couldn't work the other one at night because I was like, I can't do this to my child. I can't. So
Right.
I know Kyle was gonna be like, no, I gotta take my baby home.
Right.
Because he
I
looks
think
so bad.
he does, and he just lit up around his mom.
Yeah.
She's nurtured a bond with him. He just lit up around his mom. And I think she's just doing her best and doing her due diligence, giving him an opportunity to raise him, doing all of these things. And if she got to fight for her son, I don't doubt it. She'll fight for him.
Yeah, exactly. And then like she and him have the same personality. Kawa is slow to speak, a little boring.
Processes.
Yeah, it's just
They're processors.
yeah. Let's see, Maurice got Kim, and Kim used to be bouncing off she was a bounce house situation. Kyra didn't look like she was a bounce house situation. So, Maurice was Maurice was living his best life for a hot second. They are Sonya. They are a mess.
Well, that'll do it. That'll do it.
I'm with you, cute girl. My baby would be with me too. Exactly. What was he doing when Kimmy was sick? Like when Kimmy would come back from her treatments, what was Maurice doing? I know he wasn't making Kimmy do anything.
Where's Jalen?
Minding his business and grown.
I think it's more to it than just that, though.
Yeah.
Something tells me it's just more to it than just that. I remember in the episode when her diagnosis and her treatments were happening, and he was saying, he feels like he can't get to her like he used to for whatever reason. He might feel a little blocked out between Maurice, or like Maurice is fending him off, like he's filtering him where he can't get to his mother. So I'm wondering where Jalen is. Oh my gosh, not trying to hunch. Not a hunch punch.
Sonya, girl, you gotta stop. but I feel like what you're saying is true. Like it's because like he was feeling a certain way about his mom. Marcel was like, "Don't feel like that. Don't cry." Like this is his mother.
Right. That's who raised him. That's his person.
Yeah.
That's his person. Like if she goes, he's alone because his father is not in the picture like that. So so I'm wondering where Jalen is in all of this. And I hope that for Monster and Maurice Jr.'s sake that it gets figured out and or has already been figured out and is done promptly and quickly.
Let me ask you this. Did you watch Carlos's interview with Maurice?
I did.
Okay, I did not. And Victoria wants to know, what do we think about it? And it's not that I didn't want to watch it. I just didn't know if I could handle any more Maurice. And and it's chauvinistic. I didn't know if I could handle it. What do you think about it?
My largest takeaway from the show, the interview that he did, Victoria, is that Maurice comes across extremely selfish. I mean, the when it came to Seg, you know, he made her, this is the thing I didn't like. He made her cancer seem like a curveball instead of a life-changing event. And during this curveball being thrown at their life, that she still has these expectations as a spouse that she has to meet during this curveball. And whether or not she has to suffer through it and fake it, that is an expectation that she's meeting as a wife. To put it lightly, yes, he was Mauricing to the 10th power. He is extremely selfish. Again, this is Kimmy carrying her cancer diagnosis with so much grace and class and just doing everything and making a cancer diagnosis and a cancer fight of her life just seemingly maybe looking easy, and Maurice just simply just taking it for granted. And I'll say this as well, I did not gain any new respect for him either.
Oh, wow. I did see on your TikTok, you did have you had like a poll. Was it I remember you had curveball or
life-changing event, right?
Event. And I just did life-changing event because that's exactly what it is,
right?
But
he made to me
he used the word curveball.
Yes, he used the word curveball, and to me, as a person, that diminished. To me, saying it's a curveball is diminishing the fight against cancer that she was facing. Because her life will never be the same. She will always worry about her cancer coming back. She will always have follow-up doctor's appointments to make sure that her cancer has not come back. Her life will never be the same. She'll always have that port, that port scar. She will always remember the losing of her hair if her hair grows back in fully. Her life will never, ever be the same. And for him to say that, oh, it's just a curveball and she can, this, that, and the other, to me, it just diminished her fight. She's fighting for her life.
It's every day. And then like before Kimmy and Maurice got married, Maurice was showing these signs before they got married because she said something about Maurice Jr. being there and she did not want to be a single mother again. So one thing about it, when you get married, whatever's going on is 10 times worse after you say I do. And as you can see, I mean, it is. If you are married in the chat, let me know if I'm right. I feel like if you deal with something like he probably wasn't, like he'll probably have paper plates. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a great example. He'll probably do paper plates and paper cups. Oh, that's all right. I'll put it up. I'll put this out. But then when you get married, you want to eat off plates and you just want to put them in the sink and you don't want to wash your dishes. Like it's 10 times worse.
Wow. Okay.
Said that she had a mastectomy and it's life changing. And she said that is so true. Like this girl is going to forever be dealing with something, have something going on, and he is always going to be me.
And he also said this as well. He said he needs Seg like Carlos needs mess.
What?
He says some people Seg is a want and a need. For him, it is a need.
And that's why this right here, what Cindy Lou just said, she sit up here worrying about him. And like she said, and I'm quoting what she said, with poison going through her body.
Yep.
She was still focused on his needs.
Yep.
That's why
I say I did not garner any more respect for him as a spouse staying with someone that has cancer. I didn't, usually when you hear a man's story, you're hearing how, supportive they are through that, what they forego as well while their spouse is fighting for their life. But I didn't hear Maurice, Kimmy's doing a wonderful job. Maurice isn't missing out on a thing.
Lord have mercy, Jesus.
When you have time, friend, listen to it. You
I'll
build your endurance back up, because the episode was already exhausting. Then Detroit came in a little bit exhausting. You
yeah,
have to build yourself up to get to that one, baby, because them hot 40 minutes.
because I know he said he can. Oh, it just get worse with the comments. The comments just get worse. Victoria just made it so much more worse than what it already was. But that is horrible that he feels like that. Because I know when they were in the car and she was talking about it, he was like, wait a minute, so you were faking? She was like, it's not about that. I know this is what, child, look. And, the fact that she's sitting here worried about, I know what I have going on, but I have to go through this so my husband won't go out on me.
So I don't end up a statistic.
That's insane. That's insane.
Yep. He hasn't had to, based on that interview, he has not had to forgo. He does not have to suffer.
Mm-hmm.
None of that. She seems to be fulfilling checks across the board.
Cindy Lou said they didn't live together before the wedding, and you don't find folks out till you live together. Yeah, but I think you have a good idea of how they could be. You know what I mean? You got a good idea how they could be. So that is I don't know. I just feel like whatever it was that he was trying to do was just way too much.
When you watch this interview, friend, you might do a video about it.
I just don't want. I mean, I know it's gonna be disappointing. I know Maurice is gonna disappoint me. I know he is. I know.
I mean, the one highlight I did learn is that he was valedictorian for his law school. He was valedictorian.
Okay, so what does that mean? Like, what is he doing at this point? Because people feel like he don't even work. Did he say anything about having a job?
Well, he's an attorney. So, and they have a closing
attorney. Was an attorney too, and we never saw her with no clients but Sheree. So, tomato.
Notifications.
Yes, Stella, they were together for a while. They were
7 years.
Yeah, they were
before he married her.
So
7 years.
That's a lot. They dated 7 years before they got married.
Yeah,
she wanted to be married. She loved Maurice.
Down. So it's going to be interesting to see what Kiowa has to say when they meet up.
Yeah, we'll do that maybe later. We don't know how y'all. This is our, like I said, this is our last conversation for this month. We're gonna take a little break doing this. I don't know how y'all feel about it. If you like it, we can come back after we regroup and everything. But Ebony will be doing her reviews. I will be doing my reviews. So you'll hear us. But we've enjoyed this, and I've enjoyed you all coming here and all that. And Ebony, I really appreciate you for being here and doing this with me. This has been great.
Oh, thank you for having me. I so appreciate it.
Yeah, this has been awesome. So if y'all don't have anything else to say in the chat, let us know if this is something you like, and then Ebony and I can tweak it a little bit and see if we can come back and be here for y'all. And then we can have some different conversations, because like with this, it's some grown folks conversations that need to be had.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so we could just see how that would go. And I've enjoyed this so much because we had a guest today for our last show. That was awesome.
So Gucci, ow. Yes.
Loving Marriage Huntsville, Loving Marriage DC.
And let's get to her live.
Oh yeah, she's coming on at 8 o'clock, I think. So Deborah said, love it, more please. Okay, what we're gonna do is Ebony and I are going to talk
Oh,
about it, and we're going to revamp it up and see what we can do, and we'll be back because I also want other topics. We don't have to just talk about reviews or anything like that. Like we could just talk about anything. Like Victoria has a situation. We can talk about um, things that happen in people's life when they go through different things that change their lives forever. Like we talked about Kimmy, or how do you feel in your relationship? Like if you're dating, if you're like, y'all, I'll be 50 this year, so it's some changes around here. I'm in another. It's a little different over here, so I'm just excited. I'm excited what's to come. So
yes,
let us know what
absolutely.
y'all like to talk about. Let them know where they can follow you and message you.
TikTok, the Fly Aunt Cooks. We talking about we got some TV stuff going on. We got some cooking going on. Check it out. I love to have you.
What is Ebony a CC? What was that? What does that mean? Is Ebony a CC? What does that mean, Victoria?
I don't know.
Okay. You can follow me at MillyChan08 on TikTok, MillyChan TV here on YouTube, MillyChan on Instagram. And what does that mean, Victoria, before we get out of here? Is Ebony a CC? I don't know. But okay, maybe we didn't get that. But y'all, I really want to thank y'all for being here. Oh, a content creator. Yes, yes, she is a content creator. Yes.
Oh,
TikTok. Yes, she is
look
a
at this.
great content creator.
I'm like
And
credit card.
look, Victoria, she is like, I go to her page for like not only the reviews, but she actually shows the actual part of the show and she talks about it. She has polls up. So I loved her content way before she and I
Oh,
even
thank you.
had a conversation.
Thank
I was a fan of hers. And so yeah, she is great content. So you can follow her. Tell her again where you can follow on TikTok.
The Fly Aunt Cooks. Come on
Yeah.
over and tell me Millie sent you. At me and let me know Millie sent you.
She does it all. So but we'll revamp it and we'll get back. We're just gonna take a little break and get it all together and we'll let y'all know we're coming back. But I really appreciate everybody being here. Like I said, Ebony, thank you, thank you, thank you.
I love it. Thanks to everybody for coming and commenting. You guys have a great evening. Ow,
Bye, y'all.
ow.
I love it so much. This has been great.